So, that Switch 2 Direct was something, wasn't it? Let me get the stuff I'm less interested in out of the way. I've never really been a hardware or specs guy, so I can't tell you if the console is good or whatever, but I do like what I'm seeing overall. It's got a bigger screen, and I'm genuinely kind of surprised by the HDR support in handheld mode. I like the mouse mode for Joy-Cons. I'm still hoping that means we'll be getting DS games sometime near release, but its utility in games like Civ 7 and Prime 4 is nice. I'm kinda hoping it'll mean we'll get to play some genres that are usually seen as best on PC, like real-time strategy games. I'd love to be able just to boot up my Switch and play some Command & Conquer. I am genuinely curious how well the mic will work, though. I'm iffy on promises of clear communication on a tiny mic from across the room, but hopefully we'll be able to use headsets for communication if the mic doesn't work as advertised. Though I also love that they're acting like group chat is some kind of new feature when it's, been around since the Xbox 360. But speaking of the game chat, I do like the level that they're throwing themselves into it. The idea of sharing live game footage between friends isn't new, but it'll still be nice to be able to stream straight to friends, and I hope it runs more smoothly than it seems to in the Direct. Okay, that's all I have to say about the hardware, so on to the actually important part of any new console announcement, the games. And man, there's a lot to be excited about here. Just starting off with the new Mario Kart. An open world Mario Kart sounds like so much fun, but more importantly, did you catch all those background racers? A Goomba, a cow, a dolphin? Are these all playable? Are they transformations of some sort? I need to know because this is absolutely wild. I mean, look at the dolphin. It's just floating above the kart. How is it driving? In the end, the game just looks like a whole lot of fun, and I definitely plan on getting the version with Mario Kart packed in so my wife and I can play together. The Switch 2 editions for games is also a nice feature. It's a good way to add Switch 2 exclusive content to older games without forcing people to buy entire versions of games that they already have. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are both getting Switch 2 updates, and it's really nice to know that I'll be able to play those without having to shell out upwards of $140 for what amounts to a graphics patch and a smartphone GPS. I'm wondering what these will cost. I'm hoping $10 just for the update, but $20 feels more likely. I would hope they don't charge more than $20 for the upgrades, but this is Nintendo, and they are charging for the Switch 2 tutorial software, so who knows. And overall, the updates to the Switch 2 editions seem like they're probably going to be pretty minor. Metroid and Zelda are going to look nicer, for example. But Mario Party Jamboree is getting some new game modes exclusive to Switch 2, which is pretty awesome, and more importantly, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is getting new story content. I was hoping for new Kirby stuff, but I was not expecting Switch 2 exclusive Forgotten Land DLC, and I cannot wait to play it. My boy eats a spring! But man, as happy as I was for the new Forgotten Land content, I was not as ready as I thought I was going to be for the new Hyrule Warriors. I will say, I was mostly expecting a new Hyrule Warriors. Zelda has been a pseudo-yearly franchise for a while now, and we had just gotten the new game from Grezzo last year, and Tears of the Kingdom came out the year before, so a new Hyrule Warriors was by far the most likely next Zelda thing. And it's pretty much exactly what I expected it to be. We're heading to the battlefields of the imprisoning war from Tears of the Kingdom, and Zelda gets a Zonai lightsaber! Rauru and Minoru are playable characters, and hopefully we'll actually get to know the ancient sages, and I'm really hoping to be able to play as Sonia. I think it'll be a great look into the adventure that Zelda had in the distant past, kind of like how Age of Calamity, despite it taking a random turn away from the canon tragedy, gives a decent look at Hyrule 100 years before Breath of the Wild. And we better get to play as Ganondorf. We got to play as Calamity Ganon in Age of Calamity, so give me playable Ganondorf, guys. Nintendo GameCube Online is coming, and my only disappointment with this announcement is that they didn't also announce Nintendo DS Online. But we're still getting a starting launch lineup of the best Zelda game, Soul Calibur 2, F-Zero GX, Fire Emblem, and Luigi's Mansion, and more. I don't understand why they keep drip feeding legacy content onto us, but at least we're getting some pretty good games starting off. Also, with Prime 4 coming out, I'm shocked not to see Metroid Prime and Echoes on the list. It just seems like it would be a perfect time to drop those for anyone wanting to play through most of the series. maybe they're holding off for a Wii Virtual Console and drop the trilogy on that. And also, why is there no Wii Virtual Console getting released at launch, guys? But the big surprise of this Direct, in my humble opinion, was Kirby Air Riders. Now, I never got to play the original Kirby Air Ride on GameCube due to, 1, not having many local friends, and 2, most of my time playing multiplayer being taken up entirely by Halo, but I'm pretty pumped for this. I love Kirby, and I love Silly Racers, and what I've gotten to play of the original game is pretty fun, so I'm beyond excited to have a Kirby Air Ride game that I can play online with friends and family. My only question is, why wasn't the original Air Ride listed on the GameCube games? Like, come on Nintendo, at least give us access to the legacy games if you're going to continue to drip feed games on NSO. It can only help drive sales of the new games. And they added online multiplayer to Four Swords when it came out, so I don't see why they couldn't add online multiplayer to the GameCube version of Kirby Air Ride. Like, it seems like a slam dunk, and I don't know why it's not there. And finally, we got one last reveal that was, beyond everything, the thing that made me most excited. That's right, our boy is back and he's looking goofier than ever! When I first saw that DK model in Mario Kart World, my immediate reaction was, man, I hope they don't make a Donkey Kong Country game with this design, and I got my wish with Donkey Kong Bonanza. But I really think the new design fits for what this game looks like it's going for. It's cartoony, it's silly, he has pants! The gameplay looks like it's got a really good flow to it. The ability to just punch through almost everything has a lot of fun potential. It's great to see the DK franchise take another stab at 3D, considering they haven't even tried it since DK64. And I'm really hoping this turns out to be a success like Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, and it's looking like it absolutely will be. This game is officially my most anticipated game for Switch 2, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. DK himself looks goofy and expressive, and the world looks like it has a lot of charm, and there's even an ostrich. A long-lost relative of Espresso, perhaps? In the end, I'm pretty happy with the Switch 2 and its announced games. From Switch games like Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends A to Z that's just gonna be better on the new console, to new content for older games like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, to the new reveals like Mario Kart World, Hyrule Warriors, Kirby's Air Ride, and Donkey Kong Bonanza, we're looking at a pretty strong first year for the system. It's $450 for just the console and $500 for the Mario Kart World bundle. I'm gonna try to jump on it when it comes out because I want that Mario Kart and I really want to play the updated version of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond when it comes out. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say, so have fun.